Assalamu alaikum friends, welcome to Knowledge TV. If you are new with the channel, please subscribe the channels for new videos. Today we will discuss phonetic topics, manner of articulations. But before this topic you must watch my previous video. Before this you will understand the topic easily. Manner of articulations. We discussed the place of articulation before this topic. Now we discuss the manner of articulation. So far we have concentrated on describing consonant sound in terms of where they are articulated. We can also describe the same sounds in terms of how they are articulated. Such a description is necessary if you want to able to differentiate between some sounds which in the preceding discussion we have placed in the same category. For example, we can say that the ta and sa are both voiceless alveolar sounds. How they differ? They differ in their manner of articulations. That is, in the way they are pronounced. The ta sound is one of a set of sounds called stops, and sa sound is one of the set called fricatives. Stops. Stops are sounds. We have already mentioned that the set fa, va, ta, da, ka, ga are all produced by some form of stopping of the air stream very briefly, then let it go abruptly. This type of consonant sounds resulting back a blocking or stopping effect on the air stream is called a stop or plosive. A full description of the ta at the beginning of a word like tin is a voiceless alveolar stop. In some discussion only the manner of articulations is mentioned. As well it is said the word bit, for example, begins and ends with voice stops. Fricatives. The manner of articulations used in producing the set of sounds fa, va, ta, da, sa, za, sha, and ya sounds involves almost blocking the air stream and having the air forced through. The very narrow opening as the air is pushed through a type of friction is produced as the resulting sounds are called fricatives. If you your if you put your open hands in the front of your mouth when making the sound fa and sa in particular, you should be able to feel the stream of air being pushed out. The usual pronunciations of the word fish begins and ends with the voiceless fricatives. The word those begin and ends with the voiceless fricative ta and za. The sound ha in high or hello is voiceless, are also usually included in the set of fricatives. Affricates. If you combine a brief stopping of the air stream with an abstracted release which causes some friction, you will be able to produce the sound sha and ja. These are called affricates and occur beginning of the word cheap and jeep. The first these is a voiceless affricate and the second is voice affricate. Voiceless affricate and voiced affricate. Nasal sounds. Most sounds are produced orally with the velum raised, preventing airflow from the entering the nasal cavity. However, when the velum is lower and the air stream is allowed to flow through the nose to produce m, na, and ing sound. The sounds are described as nasal. These three sounds are voice. The word morning, netting, and nam begins and ends with nasals. Liquids. The initial sound is lead or described as a liquid. They are both voiced. The last sound is called a lateral liquid and is formed by letting the airstream flow also. The tongue is the tip of the tongue make contact with the middle of the alveolar. The raw sound at the beginning of phrase is formed with the tongue tip rise and call back near the alveolar. rage. Glides. The sounds wa and j area described as glide. They are both voices and occur at the beginning of wit, we, you, yes. The J usually sound is ya sound. These sounds are typically produced with the tongue and the motions